Hey everybody, I want to just come to you today and give you my favorite 5 poses that I do every single time I travel. I do these whether I am sitting in, all except for one. If I'm sitting on the plane and there's plenty of room for me to be able to do these poses, I also do them while I am waiting for my next flight, and I do these poses when I get to the hotel. The benefits, mainly the benefits, is it helps with the hips as you are sitting on a long trip, helps open up the hips, also helps release any of the stress that we carry in our shoulders into the back, and then lastly, my favorite one, helps reduce any of the swelling that we experience while traveling. So main thing is, of course, we can do all the yoga in the world, but if you are not hydrated, if you do not drink enough water, especially while you're traveling internationally, the poses are going to help, but they're not going to be as beneficial as if you combine the two together. So always, always, always drink plenty of water when you travel, and then of course you do have the option of doing these poses. So on my bench here, so I'm going to have a seat because that's typically what we're doing while we're flying. So for the hips, figure 4, ankle up here onto the knee, and just take your hand and gently press on the thigh. So I don't really want you to put any pressure on your knee. We naturally want to push there. I actually want you to push on your thigh. I want you to be easy with your knee. So you're here, you're just going to press down. So where you're going to feel that stretch potentially, where I feel it right now, is right there in my hip. One side's always going to feel tighter than the other. So you just hold it for a few breaths. You're going to take an inhale. Exhale, you can push a little bit more. So you should notice how my knee is sitting down or sinking down just slightly more. So of course we're going to do that for both sides, left and right. And again, you're going to press on the thigh. Never, ever on the knee. I always want to keep my knees safe. And you just breathe through it. Make your exhale longer. So you inhale through the nose and then exhale. The other thing, people look at you, who cares? You're stretching your body. You know what? They may even lean over and ask you, hey, what's that stretch you're doing? You can say, this is a seated half pigeon if you want. I'm not going to try to do the Sanskrit because Sanskrit and I do not get along, but seated half pigeon, seated figure 4, whatever you want to call it there. So that's your first pose. Great for the hips while you're on the plane if you have enough room, or if you don't, who cares? You might bother the person next to you a little, but they'll be fine. When you are waiting for your next flight, you can get a couple of these in. You can also do these standing. And then of course, once you get to your destination, you want to loosen up those hips as well. Second pose is a seated, again, a seated forward fold. Knees are bent, so you're just going to bring the chest to the thighs, and you're just going to fold forward. So you can let the hands be heavy, feet are on the floor, and we're just going to fold. So again, stretching all through the back here. I can catch the hands and gently pull down. If I'm at the airport and I'm waiting between flights, I can interlace my fingers and pull. Okay, seated forward fold. Just taking in what you need here, folding forward, head drops. Third pose is a seated cat-cow. Similar, it's about the spine, so you're going to pull, I'm going to turn so you can see here. So I'm going to push my belly button to my spine while I round my back, chin to my chest. So I'm simulating a cow, or the cat position that I do when I'm on all fours. And then of course the cow, I'm going to arch my back, I'm going to pull my shoulders back and look up. Now, I want you to look at the shoulders. I want you to pull those shoulders down, look up. So the shoulders are not way up here by my ears, but I'm going to pull them down, look up. So cat, push the belly button in, really pull that belly button into the spine, and then push the chest up. So that's the third one, your seated cat-cow. You can do that anywhere, and it's not like you have to be on the floor, whether at the airport or on, I guess on the plane. You could probably try to do that in the aisle, probably not. So, fourth pose is for the neck, into the neck and the shoulder. So you're going to take one of your hands, you're going to place it underneath your bottom, shoulder comes down, And then I'm going to gently take my ear to the opposite side. I'm going to reach up with the opposite hand and gently pull down. So this is going to stretch through the shoulder into the neck. And if I want just a little bit more, I'm going to take my chin down towards my chest. So it's going to stretch right there through that top of your shoulder and release any tension that we're holding there. And then of course the other side, hand goes underneath the leg, and then you're going to drop the head. So what you really think about, the shoulders are down. So you don't want the shoulders up by the ears. Let the shoulders drop, and then again drop the chin down towards the chest, and it just changes that stretch. So that's your fourth pose. Last one is one that you might have to, well, you probably will have to do on the floor. So if you can find a spot there in the airport, you're going to come to the floor and you're going to take the legs straight up, waterfall. This helps with circulation, it helps with swelling, it helps just rejuvenate the entire body. So if you're feeling really tired, if jet lag is an issue, this is your go-to pose every single time. So notice my feet are flexed, but I'm pulling my toes back. Now if I wanted to add a little more, I can point and flex the feet. You'll notice it's going to stretch out the tops of my calves or my shins. So point and flex, hands here. Otherwise you just pull. The big thing that I want you to think about is trying to stack ankle, knee, hip. So my feet aren't over, my toes aren't towards my face, but I've got them pulled back. But I'm not piking as if I'm doing abs, just straight up. So you can do this legs up against the wall, especially if your hamstrings are tight. You can take a bend in the knees if you need to, keeps the lower back pressed in. And you just get to relax. And you stay here for 10 breaths, however long you feel that you need. Because as always, it's your yoga, it's your practice, and it is what you feel that you need for your body. So those are my 5 poses that I love to do when I travel. Actually, I typically do them pretty much every single day. Even at work, you can sneak off to a little place and they're in your office, your little cubicle or whatever, and just take your legs up the wall. It is like the cure-all for everything. Hope that helps. Let me know, and I will see you soon.